You know what I'd like to do now is, because we'll tap into your expertise, Joe, is what tips can we provide to people who are thinking about making a career change? Okay. So what would you recommend? Someone's come to you and they think, oh, I need to make a career change and I just don't know where to start. What would your top tips be?
The first one would be to follow your curiosity. So something I think is really important is looking at all the things that you're drawn to in the world. When we actually realize that it's very individual, all the things that spark interest to each of us. And if you pay attention to that and see what those sparks are. So maybe you realize if you look at all the people that you follow on social media and you get really excited when you see a new post from them, and actually they're all in a particular space. They're all talking about health or something. Or you realize that you go down a rabbit hole often if you see something about sustainability and you kind of think, oh gosh, I just want to read more about that. By following your curiosity in those spaces, you can just find out more about why it is that you're drawn to those and what might be happening in those spaces. The next tip would then be to not get lost down a Google rabbit hole, which is what people, another big mistake I think people make with career change.
Google's dangerous.
Or LinkedIn. Go and speak to people. Because the people out there in the jobs, in the areas that even if you've just got this tiny bit of curiosity at the beginning, they're going to be the ones who are going to be able to tell you what it's like working in that career and what skills they're using, what they're doing every day, how much they earn, what you need to do to move into that career if you wanted to. And it can feel quite intimidating for people, I think, to do that to start with. And that's a skill that I really build up on with people, of how to reach out and connect with people and to see the value in doing that. And I think it takes a bit of practice and a bit of people coming back and saying, yes, I'm happy to have a really general chat like that for people to actually see the value of it. So the next tip that links to that would be not to be looking for a job when you're first looking at career change, just to be looking at following that curiosity, looking for people that you're interested to speak to so that you can learn more. I sort of mentioned before that people tend to try and change career based on the data that's in their head, and that doesn't work. That's a mistake people make. This is doing the opposite. This is data gathering. This is going, okay, I'm just going to go out there. I'm going to learn more about the world. And in doing that, you're going to learn more about you. Because, as you know, Jay was mentioning, you're going to listen out through all those things that are going to be important, and it's going to help you to refine, okay, it's really important to me that there's air conditioning or that the culture is in this particular way, because you'll hear other people explaining that. And you'll also learn a huge amount about the careers that are out there, the job titles you've never heard of, the things you didn't know exist, and the nuance of what it would actually be like to do them as well. So getting out there is a really important part of career change. What about you, Jane? Yeah. Have you got some different tips to add to the mix?
Yeah, well, I absolutely agree. It's, expanding your professional network, talking to people, getting the information that you need so you know what it's like in a day in the life of whatever it might be. I would add that career clarity is a really important part of your exploration, because you can explore externally, which is really important for the actual jobs that might be out there, but also internally think about what are the values that drive you and the core driving values. I'd say list all the values that are important to you and then rank them in order of importance too, so you know what the top 3 to 5 are that are not negotiable, and you must be able to fulfill them somehow in your life, professionally or personally. And then identify what your current skills are, your preferred skills. So it's important to know what you enjoy doing and also what you're good at. So sometimes we're very good at something, but we hate it. I can analyze and do detailed work, but I don't like it. So if I do too much detailed work, I tend to go a little bit stir crazy. So think about, if I have a high competence level in something, how high is my enjoyment of that as well? So if you have high enjoyment and high competence, then that's a sweet spot. And that's probably where you will be able to express a little more passionately what it is that you can do, because you're good at it and you love it so much. And then your personal preferences, what motivates you about the work environment, about the people, about the job function, about the industry, about the flexibility, or whatever it might be, because there are lots of different aspects of your job. And it could be that you're in a good industry, but you're feeling a bit disgruntled about your job function. So would a change of job function mean, I can stay within this company or within this industry? So identify what really motivates you about your current role and what demotivates you, so you know what you're tolerating at the moment. Sometimes we tolerate stuff and it's okay. Other times we tolerate things and it ends up becoming so frustrating as well. And then you think, oh, I've got to make a change. And that's where the push factor comes. But once you've identified who you are, what really makes you tick, then think about, ultimately, what sort of legacy would you like to leave as a result of you being on this earth? Who are you? How do you want to be remembered as well? And one of the things I like people to do is to reverse engineer their careers a bit. So you think at the end of your days, say you're 102 or 95, or whenever you're ready to say sayonara, when you're ready to say goodbye, what needs to have happened in your life and career for you to say, I had a really good life, and I can actually go now, and I feel there are no regrets. So I think live with no regrets is something to consider as well. So many things to think about, aren't there, Jo?
Yes, definitely. And so many things to work through, and worries that can come up in the process. I think it's a complicated thing, career change, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's right.